7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Voice of Stockton. For more information on The Voice of Stockton, go to thevoiceofstockton.org.
This is Darius Oliver, and you're listening to 92.1 KXVS, The Voice of Stockton.
What is up, Stockton, California, worldwide, the Central Valley? This is Chaz Day of Hella Deadass Entertainment with Rise and Shine 209, your favorite weekday morning show. Tune in Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. PST for entertainment that is right up your alley. Featuring unsigned artists and small businesses from across the globe that share the grassroots local determination to grow. Do you see what I've done with those rhymes back there? So when you see me on live, I want you to comment, like, and share. And just like that, we're live.
We are live.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, hey, hey.
What is up, Marco?
Oh, the world. The world.
Thank you for coming in tonight for this, not impromptu. I mean, we planned it, but, you know, special edition.
For sure.
Episode of Rise and Shine 209. Rise and Shine.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming out again. Like I've told you before, shout out to Diamond Des for working with this guy.
Yeah, I know.
Linking us up.
Great. She's great. Yeah, she's done so much for me. I'm super grateful. And she's a major talent, just crazy talent.
Oh yeah, I've been a fan of hers for many a year.
Yeah.
So
pound for pound, I think probably the best rapper I've ever worked with. I think. I don't even think I know so. Like one of the best, actually pound the best. Yeah, she's insane. Like she's so good, and her singing, like when I first heard her sing, it was just like I just had to stop and just take it in because I'm like, oh my gosh, like really, did you just do that?
Yeah.
So
I know that first function that you guys came and were a part of.
Yeah.
When we did that little interview after and she sang live, I was sitting there like, I wish we could have do that whole interview over again because I was just so drained that I wasn't able to like ask as many questions and whatnot as I wanted. But I was just like amazed by the power in her voice. You know what I mean?
She's the first singer I've ever actually had to play physically harder and louder on my guitar ever because she's such a belter. Mm-hmm. I've never worked with someone like that before. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, wow, like that's some serious emotion there. That's a serious gift. Yeah. So
yeah, she's definitely been touched by a presence.
For sure.
And I love that she's actually acknowledges that and is, even though she's as dope as she is, she's very humble. Yeah,
I've met people that can't even touch her, and like their egos are like huge, and it's like, wow, no, you don't know. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, sorry. It's all perception, but yeah, Des is extremely humble, and yeah, she's great. But yeah, it was great working with her and for her and stuff. So she's good people.
Now, as great as she is, that day after she had left, we kind of had a really great conversation, and that's when you told me about the Songwriter Circle.
Yeah,
Sacramento?
SAC Songwriter Circle.
SAC Songwriter Circle.
Yeah.
And Heather Evans.
Yeah.
Shout out Heather.
She's
been on here a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Like, how did we get her on before you?
You know, it happens when it happens. You know, it's like.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to me, because that's one side of my world. Mm-hmm. It's singer-songwriter, folk, acoustic. You know, that's what I learned first on guitar, a lot of it, my musical background. And so to talk about that and then to turn around and talk about hip-hop and dance music and EDM, which is the newer side for me, it's like to kind of like come here and be like, I do both these things, and they're both polar opposite, and they're amazing. Oh,
you guys can see her. Shout out. I have a special guest, Tippy, on here today. If you guys don't know Tippy, now you do.
Tippy.
She's my little...
Tippy's chilling.
My little gremlin dog. Yeah, she probably won't move very much. But, you know, it's funny, though, because hip-hop started from jazz, folk, rock, all of those, you know what I mean? Like, some of my favorite producers will sample a folk song.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? So when you told us that day that you played all the instruments, when you produce a song, you play all the instruments yourself, you sample them directly from the thing. Like, so I was asking you, like, oh, like, do you provide that service just generally for people? Because I know somebody who literally just spent like $600 on a catalog of real sounds, you know, and still don't have everything they want. Right. You know, so
you don't get the real feeling. And there's just certain things like David Andrew from the Herald, a local band up there in Sacramento. I asked him, because it bothered me, I'm like, how can you tell that they're not real strings like violins? Like, this is like top of the line sampling. He's like, it's the bow noise that makes the residual. And I'm like, that's it. I had like a Back to the Future moment. I'm just like, that's it, Marty. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's it. So I wasn't gonna take the time to learn violin. So I just hired some people online to do it, and like that was it. Yeah. So if I can't do it, I'll hire it out. But most of the time, like, I'll play like anything stringed instrument usually. But
you know, it's funny too, because even with sampling, it sounds different if you sample directly from a record than if you sample a digital file. Right. Because you don't have all those, I guess, ambient noises almost. You know what I mean?
And pops. And transients.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so to come here and talk about like both sides of my music projects, it's kind of surreal because they're two. It's like a switch, like I just turn off and on, and it's like I always say online, like, so I'm switching the hats again. Okay, now I'm gonna do coasts, right? And now it's like storytelling time. Yeah. And some of those stories are pretty hard to tell because I've been through a lot personally, and as we all have, we've all suffered things, or we've all been through triumphs and stuff. And so I think for me, Do Coast is a little more personal. It's a little more real, like a diary almost. Especially for Haley Ann, who does that with me. She shares her stories. Yeah, Haley Ann, the vocalist, and she mixes her style in there with it, and her voice is amazing too, just in a different way. Right.
Shout out Haley Ann. I know you have something early to do tomorrow, and you couldn't be here tonight, but we miss you.
Yeah. So yeah, she just, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm really fortunate to work with these singers because they give me the voice that I don't have, you know, as far as saying the actual words, because some songs are hard to talk about. Yeah. And so they help me convey those messages, you know.
So do you actually do any singing, or are you just strictly songwriting?
Well, Heather is infamous for this. She will drag me up on stage. Not really drag me, because I'm a willing participant. Right. But she's like, we really need. I started doing harmonies with her on stage, like, by surprise, and she looked at me. She's like, that was so good in Heather's voice. You know?
Yeah. That was almost accurate.
It was almost accurate. And so we do this song called by Damien Rice called Volcano. Okay. And I sing harmonies on it. And I've gotten multiple like feedback from just random people, unsolicited, saying you should do that again, you know. So I'm not really sure singing is in the cards for me as far as like being up front, but more of a supporting thing, you know, if I do that in that format. I don't think I could ever back up sing for someone like Des, because Des is a force. You know,
I think Des is the only one that can back up sing for Des.
Yeah, I mean, and even Haley, I can't do that with Haley for some reason. I mean, even though I can't say that. I haven't tried really hard, but like certain voices, like they're just powerful on their own. It's just, it would take away if I put anything in it.
Right,
you know? Right. And then Heather's got like a signature sound, and I can kind of just float over the top of her voice. Easier for me. I don't know. It just works that way. So
I love Heather's sound. Like I just love that
it's warm.
style. Yeah. I love it.
So that's why it's like I kind of liken like singers to guitars. Everyone has their different sound, and you know, and it's just it's a blessing to work with everyone. So it's so cool.
Yeah. Which one did you start first?
Dew Coast or Echo the Natives? Dew Coasts. Okay. That was in Ohio. Okay. And Dew Coast.
Shout out Columbus.
Shout out Columbus, Ohio. I started that with a girl named Dion Marcello. Okay. And she was a local singer there. And I was going through a lot of personal turmoil, and I'm like thinking, I got to give this acoustic thing a name. Like, where have I been? Like, what have I done? Like, what have I done? Mm-hmm. Like, well, I've lived on two coasts. Well, I don't want to say two coasts. That just sounds too basic.
Right. Do.
So I'm like, so I looked up in the dictionary, like, okay, what's another way to say two, like in other languages? I looked up African, Ethiopian, Spanish, obviously. I'm like, no, I don't want to put the Spanish. I'm like, well, and then just Dew Coast just kind of like entered the room, and I said, yeah, that's it. But I started in Ohio, and then I went through some changes in life, and I stopped Dew Coast for a while. Mm-hmm. I stopped music for a while because I needed to reground and just find out who I was again. And I found out who I was again, and just kind of regrouped. And I moved to South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
For a little while, nice. And worked out there. And
musically, or just?
No, just a day job that I have. And so then it came up for the opportunity that I can work in California. Mm-hmm. And so I took it because I'm from here. So I'm like, I can continue to do what I do, but from another coast.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is a full circle moment for me. Like I've lived life. I've experienced things on both coasts, you know, and the best thing I could have done for myself was travel and find out who I really was. Yeah. And so to come back here, to come back home, like home for me is the Bay Area, like South Bay. Mm-hmm. But in different parts, I lived in like Galt. I grew up in Galt.
Oh wow, yeah.
So you know, and I still have family here, you know, in the area. So it'll always be home to me. But now I have some stories to tell, and so I met Haley at the Fig Tree Coffee and Music Lounge in Roseville. Mm-hmm. And
that's where the majority of your
that's where everything started.
Yeah.
I mean, when I moved back to California, I moved up to Lincoln area, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing here. I'm like, I'm gonna go venture out and just get lost and see where it takes me. And so I went to Roseville, and I went to downtown Roseville, and I was walking down the street, and I saw this man standing outside of a newly formed coffee shop. Well, I didn't know it was newly. Yeah. He like invited me, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Come on in." And I'm like, "By any chance, do you guys like have music acts here?" He's like, "Well, you know what? We need some music here." And I didn't know that they'd only been open a couple weeks. And
so you guys were just like completely like,
it was just like instant
kismet.
Yeah, instant. And so I was the second artist ever to play there at that establishment. Nice. So that was about a year and a half ago.
Now was Fig Tree where you guys were live the other day?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So it's grown into a music community of songwriters, and that coffee shop has like produced like so many bands and so much music culture. It's like, amazing. So so thanks Josh Lichter. He's the one that got Haley and I together because he knew I was looking for a singer. And he's like, Haley, you need to jam with this guy.
Nice.
And Marco, you need to jam with this guy. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like they all like like musicians are flaky.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
it just
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
work out all the a lot of
Yeah,
time.
y'all are. Y'all really are.
So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So I sent her a message, and I guess she was working with a producer in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Haley, shoot if I'm wrong about this, and she turned me down.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I guess Josh tried again, like months later, and then she was open to it. And then that's when we got together. We met at Fig Tree, and then
Nice.
history.
Sounds like that producer didn't work out, which was
Yeah,
good for you.
I guess, yeah, good for me. So, but yeah, so that's how Ducos happened. And that was Ducos was first, to answer your original question.
So how long have you been doing Ducos? How long have you been back on this coast?
On this coast, I've been back 2 years.
Okay.
So I think I've had Ducos for maybe about 5 years. No, actually, maybe 6 or 7 years now.
Okay.
And Echo is actually an interesting story. I felt Echo the Natives. I was working with a guy who did experimental like percussion,
Mm-hmm.
and big old long dreads and everything, tall guy, and I said I want to break all the rules of music. Like I want to come up with like something crazy,
Mm-hmm.
like
mm-hmm.
tribal dance,
new genre.
yeah, new genre, you know. So, and so he's like, well, "What's the name of your band?" I said, "Echo the Natives." He's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" I'm like, "Well, we want to echo the native people that came before us.
Mm-hmm.
We want to take from them and fuse what we know now, the
Mhm.
modern, with the old,
Nice.
and that's what it means to me."
Okay, so Echo the Natives, that's you as a DJ, or that's your band while you
Echo,
DJ?
Echo the Natives started out as me producing music, dance music, that broke rules.
Okay,
So just as a producer project, like produced project.
got you. So, when did you become a DJ?
I became a DJ when I came out here, because people needed music played.
Yeah.
You know, Dez and a handful of other singers that I've had. And actually at one point added a drummer, Dave Ferguson. He's out there. He actually runs Bach to Rock in Folsom, and he's amazing. He's an amazing drummer. But I've had a rotating roster of musicians come in and out of this project.
Mm-hmm.
And whether if it's all original, or whether if it's covers, or whether if it's DJ stuff, or whether if it's dance, or whether if, you know, it's just a hodgepodge of stuff.
Conglomerate.
Yeah.
Nice. I can
But
respect that.
ultimately, I do have stuff online, and I have collaborations with singers, and it's kind of an eclectic mix of music. But the one constant thing is it breaks all the rules. There's nothing sounds like something
Else.
that you've ever heard.
Nice.
And it pulls from familiar things, but not.
It expands upon
Mm-hmm.
familiar
Mm-hmm.
concepts.
Yeah.
That's really dope. This day and age, I feel like it's increasingly hard to do that because electronic and digital has made music making like so not easy, but you know what I mean, like a little bit more attainable. So people
Right.
are, so for you to actually have accomplished an original sound these days is even harder than it would have been 50 years ago or 20 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
So that's really dope that you
Thank you.
got that realized. Now, Echo the Natives is who's performing on Friday?
Echo the Natives is who's performing on Friday.
Okay.
So I'm coming up with a Prince inspired set,
Nice.
and it's Prince remixed in ways that you haven't heard.
Nice.
And so it's kind of a celebration of a musician that plays every instrument
Mm-hmm.
that someone I look up to as a musician. Like that dude is just the real deal.
Amazing. Yeah.
On so many levels. I'm like, if I could even touch a fraction of that, you know. But yeah, so it's a celebration of him and kind of what he stood for and stuff.
And for those listening that don't know what the event is, you want to explain?
So yeah, so Alchemy Salon, downtown Sacramento. They just had a mural painted on the side of their building of Prince.
Nice.
Celebrating him, commemorating him. Mm-hmm. And so J.M. Knutson, the muralist, a Sacramento local here that does all the murals in Sacramento. Well, he does a lot of murals in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. He was commissioned to do that. And so they wanted to throw a Prince party to top it off.
To commemorate the mural.
So yeah, so shout to Alchemy Salon for having Echo the Natives do their Prince show. So yeah, so that's that's this Friday from 6 to 9. So it's Alchemy Salon.
That's on J Street.
J Street, J Street.
I don't remember exactly where on J Street, but if you Google Alchemy Salon on J Street, it should be the only one.
Yeah, should be the only one. So yeah, so I'm excited. They're excited.
And then there's gonna be other things going on too, right? Like live art, I saw.
Live art, all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. I can't remember what the poster says, but yeah, it's going to be a whole spectacle and a whole event.
Tarot reading.
Yep.
There's tarot readings. That's all.
So yeah, just in the salon, like I like design, and I walked into the salon and I'm like, whoa, this is really designed really nice. I'm like, whoa, this is going to be a really cool gig, really unusual, like in a hair salon, but it looks cool. It looks like gig club kind of material. Yeah, it's super cool. So
I've noticed there are a lot more venues doing that. Like I just went to a really dope graffiti art show in back of a tattoo shop that was like they had a whole DJ setup and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
This is back here.
Right.
So I guess in these, in this day and age with the economy being so, the more facets you have for making money with your property, the better.
Sure.
So that's not too surprising. So that's Friday the 19th. If you're in Stockton, I need you to come to Mixed Metaphors at Blackwater. But if you're in Sacramento, go to Alchemy on J Street for this Prince event. If you really want to make the drive, I won't be too mad at you. Mixed Metaphors will go on next month too. But so what else do you have coming up? I know there's something on the 26th or 7th.
I have a show at Duke Hosts on Saturday, I believe. Oh, let me double. Actually, yeah, I think on Saturday, and that's with a new band that we kind of found. A Car Is Falling. And so they're a new band that we made friends with.
Nice.
Actually no, that's not this Saturday. No, I misspoke. That's actually coming up on 10/27.
27. That's what I was saying. I was like, I remember because shout out again the function last Saturday's 10/27. But I remember seeing that I can't go.
Anytime,
but if you're Sacramento area or northern, go to that.
So, I have all my stuff on my websites. So if you want to see the schedule, feel free to check those out. And my Instagram, I'm always posting.
Is that dukehost.com?
Dukehost.com, DEUX, French for two, and EchoTheNatives.com. So you can check out all those schedules. But yeah, this year has been insane, like I said, because never in 1 year did I ever think that I would be on radio number one.
Right.
I never thought that I would be on live TV. That was a trip. Talk about scary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The folks at Sac & Co were gracious to us and amazing experience, and Odette's for that one too. She did really well. It's amazing. And then actually shot a film for a TV series.
Oh, nice.
And that blew me away. Adam Weber, if you're out there, hi Adam Weber. He's shooting a TV series called An Actor's Life.
Okay.
And so they're shopping it around right now. But the folks at Garage Studios in Yuba City, local, but they're just amazing people. We shot a scene. We, meaning Ducoast, Haley and I shot a scene, a concert scene for them in their story.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That was...
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's really dope.
I never knew how technical acting could be and filmmaking. I was like, hats off. Like, now I know, like, that's so amazing. Like, I had no idea how much talent it took.
Yeah. It's so funny because last time you and Des were here, you guys were talking, and I was like, wow, that sounds like my life. You know what I mean? And it's like same, like, I'm hosting a radio show now, but I never thought I would be on the radio last year. You know what I mean? Like, I've done the live TV, and then what is his name?
I saw you. Actually, I saw a clip of you on live TV.
Yeah. On Good Day Sacramento.
Yeah, Good Day Sac. Awesome.
Which was cool because Good Day, back when I used to watch the news, that's the one I actually used to watch.
Oh, okay.
I mean? So it was cool that they did that. But then Joe,
my Des is Chez is so serious. Like, I'm like, that's a different kind of Chez, but okay. I know Chez. She's always laughing, but she's really serious there.
Oh, that's because I was terrified.
Yeah, that's because you were terrified.
I'm actually very introverted and shy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tend to hide it well, but I'm very, even doing this, like,
yeah.
Oh, what's up, Heather? Heather Evan is watching. She says, Marco.
Oh, actually, tomorrow, thanks for reminding me, I'm co-hosting with her.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Son of a gun. I'm co-hosting with her Sacramento Songwriter Showcase.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we asked 4 songwriters or 3 songwriters questions, and it's in the round style. So we hop and skip, song per song, and then we interview them about that song.
Nice.
But it's a really intimate look at a songwriter's process and how they think and stuff.
And Stockton and surrounding area of songwriters, I encourage you to go up to Sacramento and participate as an audience member, if nothing else, but get in contact with one of these guys and go experience that, because that's something I'm hoping, Heather, you're watching, I'm hoping you guys will branch out to here, because I've gotten, just with my monthly freestyle competitions, I've gotten people asking me about doing stuff for other genres, and I think the idea is fantastic. I just don't have the capabilities or access to do it. So Heather, come start one at Blackwater.
It's all about networking and talking, communication, and reaching out to people saying, hey, I need help. I see a need here.
Right. Who's
willing to step up? And usually 9 out of 10, there's always someone that will kind of pony up and say, I want void. Like with Heather, she's like, I need help with Sac Songwriter Circle. Like, do you want to co-host? I'm like, you really want me? Like, it's like one of those things that you don't place yourself there.
Yeah.
And then I did a couple of them. I'm like, yeah, this is a good fit. I like this.
Nice.
But yeah, so I hope the songwriter circles expand. I think Bree Cause in Oregon, she's going to start one in Salem because she knows Heather.
Right.
So it's totally expandable.
Yeah. Oh no, I know, and the formula is so. That's what I mean. If like some Stockton songwriters went and sat in on a sax songwriter circle, or even if you guys came and did like a guest one here, I'm sure somebody would be able to. Oh, okay, that's how it could work. I'll do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't have any acoustic. As much as I love folk music, I don't think I'll ever play it or write it. Maybe I'm wrong, because you didn't know you would get into hip hop.
Yeah, EDM is like new to me, but I blinked my eyes and now it's 7 years later.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I'm like, I bought my first, drum machine. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? And
You know, in fairness, I got into folk way before I got into hip hop. Like the Beatles' Best of CD was the first album I ever bought.
Yeah.
My little brother and sister had to hide my tape of Simon and Garfunkel live in Central Park because I played it out so much.
Yeah. My first band that I had ever had any type of like.
Heather says that you guys can train up some people for Stockton Songwriter Circle.
Oh, hey, there you go. So you lady with answers. That's why we talk.
Lisa Eberhardt. I already have someone. Soggy Rats is a really dope acoustic band that I think would. Her voice reminds me of Heather's a lot.
Yeah. I think you need to hear Mona V. Mona V. She is R&B acoustic, like Lauryn Hill-ish, but like really soulful voice.
Like Tracy Chapman?
Different.
Okay.
Different. But she's someone that's really up and coming too.
Nice.
She's got a big show at Sac State, sold out show.
Nice.
And she's in our songwriter circle, and she's amazing.
You guys need to get me some music. I've learned I can play. It can be copyrighted. We have all our licensing to play copyrighted stuff. We just don't want to play straight mainstream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, Ducos is not mainstream.
Yeah.
And
For me, it's independent. Like you can have music distributed because that's the goal of an independent artist.
Right.
Just don't be signed to a major record label that's going to have you on K-Win anyway.
We are so indie.
You know?
Yeah, we are so indie.
So send me some stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely. I try to stay close to the musicians and in our circle and stuff. But I think the main thing for me, the most important message I think in all of this and what I wanted to say when I came here today is that if musicians don't band together, if we don't support each other, we lose our voice to what we want to say. End of story. Because there's a million other factors that can take away our voice, So why compete against each other?
Exactly.
To or hate on.
You're not each other's enemy.
No,
you're not
at all.
And there's enough for everyone to eat, and other artists aren't the ones keeping you from eating. Right.
But that's the one thing. Like we're all trying to have a voice, but the second that we go against each other, that voice is taken away, and it's sad that music doesn't get made.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's like the number one thing I would say is
I've noticed everywhere has cliques, but independent music industry has cliques, and it's like you're saying, why? We can all be you know what I mean? And it's funny to hear you say that about Sacramento, because I thought it was just Stockton. You know what I mean? Because I know Oakland will support Oakland regardless.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can be in rival gangs and they'll support each other when it comes to stuff like that. New York, same thing. But for some reason, here it's like crabs in a bucket. And it really doesn't have to be.
I've been other places too, and it's like that. Wherever it's prevalent, whether if it's on the East Coast or West Coast or your backyard, it's imperative that you just got to think of the music first. Like, your voice is hampered because of ego.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's ego.
I actually have a sign made in my studio that says "Check your ego at the door," because there's no room for that in the studio.
Right.
It's banding together and making music, and that's like the most important thing. Because that's how you make change. People listen to music. Right. And it either helps you get through a rough night, or it helps you
not
celebrate
care about
things,
a rough night,
or celebrate things, right? Or not care about it, right? Exactly. So the people that I make music with, I'm grateful to have them in my life, and I hope I help them tell their stories, just like they help me tell mine. That's the most important thing, I think.
Well, I know Des feels the same way about you, and I know Heather feels the same way about you, because I've interviewed both of them, and they both iterated such.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you reaching out as far as networking opportunities and all of that. Like, I can tell you're really about like the movement in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's awesome to find people like that because, like you said, not everybody's like that. Not everybody can check their ego at the door. So genuine people that are here for the art and for, you know what I mean, the movement. And because I feel like too, like most of us artists are doing this because we want to better our community in some way. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys coming through on the first, the function.
Yeah.
And
that was an honor. That was really cool.
You know, you guys, that was our first one, so we weren't in any place to be honoring people. But I appreciate that you guys considered that such. You know what I mean? And could see it for what it was becoming. You know.
Well, you know what I saw, right? From my end of it, I saw people gathering. It was an empty parking lot, and people gathered because they heard voices. They heard the voice. They heard Dez's voice. They heard music, and it unified people of the neighborhood. Yeah. So whatever they were going through that day, they put everything aside. They bought their time, and they came to see that. Yeah. That's power.
Yeah. And you guys had all them little girls feeling like for real rock stars.
I know. I was like, I know the cables were getting wrapped around and stuff. I'm like, oh, I hope no one trips or falls or anything like that. But yeah, no, it was a real moment, you know. And to be a part of your community's first time doing that is an honor.
Thank you.
It is. It really is. Anytime that you can unify people, is an honor, because who has that ability? You know, very few people.
Exactly. And I still don't think it was us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know everybody's beliefs out there, but I believe in a higher power. And, and
absolutely.
Time when things come together to that extent, like, it don't make no sense for you to give yourself credit.
No,
like,
yeah.
And I'm not saying that you are.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, we all did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And
it wouldn't have been as I couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys couldn't have done it without us, type of thing. You know what I mean? So that really set the tone for that event, and I appreciate your guys' participation.
Yeah, God did give the gift of music for a reason. And so
that's the most universal language.
So yeah, and you see the results of it. So yeah, I agree with you for sure.
Right
but yeah, so you know, I have a goal of just writing positive music, unifying people, in the good times and the bad times, and because we need it. There's a lot of negative out there.
Oh yeah.
And so it's kind of nice to be able to give someone a 45-minute break.
Yeah, if nothing else, a balance. Like, I'm not the type of person that is like, oh, everything is positive and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not an idiot, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's negative out there. But like you said, there's so much negative. Like, let's balance that out with some positive. We don't need to add to the negative, because that's so much easier to do. Right. You know? Right.
Oh, so easy to do. Exactly. I think the most fetal way you can use your time is arguing online. You know, so.
Yeah, in fairness, I will get really bored every once in a while, and it's like, let me go troll a troll. You know what I mean? Just because it's fun. They're trying to feed off getting somebody upset. Let me just give them a taste of their medicine. And that's bad karma for me. I know. But sometimes it's fun.
We all have our indulgences,
I don't do it as much anymore.
It's like really good ice cream. You know, you can't touch it.
I'm going to pay for it a little later, but right now it's
right
bomb.
now it's good. So
just to reiterate, you're co-hosting the Sac Songwriters Circle tomorrow.
Yes.
And what time is that?
That's at 7 p.m.
7 until
7 till like 9, I think.
9.
Yeah,
okay.
7 till 9.
And that's at Fig Tree.
At Fig Tree Coffee, Roseville. Come on down.
And that's open, not to participate, but open to observe.
Yeah, open to the public to come and observe.
And then if you do want to participate in the future, reach out to you or Heather.
Reach out to SAC Songwriter Circle.
Singular songwriter?
Yeah, singular songwriter at gmail.com.
Okay.
You can also look at their Facebook page too and try and get some information out there. SAC Songwriter Circle.
Right.
To get more information. And Heather Evans usually coordinates all that. Okay.
Good networking opportunity too, guys. Even if you don't go perform, go meet fellow songwriters.
Yeah.
Like-minded people is always a benefit to be around, especially people who are a little bit more advanced in the industry. Like, and Heather's got her songs in television and film, right? Like
yeah.
That's a lot of people don't even realize that that's an option for their music.
I know. I've known it for such a long time, and I've never really acted on it, and it's kind of like time, but I know that it's a good source of income.
Think what I do know about that is it's all about finding the right deal.
Right.
Because I know some people want to like own your music for the rest of your life type of thing, and others will, you can still own your music and we'll just pay you to use it type of thing. So like signing any kind of contract, it's worth the pay to get a lawyer to look over it for you.
Yeah. That's one thing about being an independent musician. You have to do your homework.
Yeah.
You have to know what you can and can't do. You can't just go post things up on YouTube. You know, you just can't take copyrighted works and use them, sampling all that stuff.
However you want.
You gotta be careful. But ASCAP and CD Baby have plenty of videos on how to be an independent musician and how to do it right.
Nice.
So I encourage those independent artists out there to do that. Know your laws.
Yes, protect yourself.
But yeah, so
put the prophylactic on your business.
Yes, practice safe music.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So that is tomorrow, 7 to 9 at Fig Tree. Saturday, 6 to 9. No, Friday. 6 to 9.
6 to 9 at Alchemy Salon, J Street. And
Prince theme party. I believe there's no cover, right?
There's no cover. It's free to the public, all ages. So super cool.
It's a Prince party, so I would advise coming dressed to impress.
Yeah, just to impress. Clean, you know.
Yes. And then the 27th, Dew Coast
has a show on the 27th, October 27th, with Like Cars Falling and Rainer Rose and the Others. New band, younger band. So so we really want to champion more bands, new bands to come through and try to give them as much, you know, stage time and try to get them going too. You know?
Right.
So, you know, there's, again,
the legacy thing.
No ego in the game. It's just, you got to help each other, you know. Because if I have a show, then I get you on, then cool. And if you have a show, you get me on, then, you know. Yeah. It's just, the number one thing in this game, and it is a game, is reciprocation. Reciprocal actions are the best.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody about that. Like, people who you've supported, you've gone to their shows, you've shared their flyers, you've done all that, and they've never reciprocated, but will still hit you up like, hey, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
It was different when I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
But now I'm doing stuff too, and you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah. So
that's why I ask you about your functions. I wanna see what's going on with Ches, because you know I got to get down here too. You know, and you know, and just anybody who I meet, like if they're gonna come to my shows, like I want to see what they're doing too. You know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be at the show on Friday. I'm gonna be in SAC, so if anybody wants to join me, let's go party to some Prince.
I expect like video and pics, nothing incriminating though. So, but yeah, it's just like that is so important. Like me and my cousin talk about that a lot. He helps me a lot with the business end of stuff. And we say all the time, it's about reciprocation and collaboration. And if more musicians did that, how much more powerful we would be.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe not to be negative, but a fault, so to speak, is reciprocation.
Yeah.
And
like you said, it's like we're, as an independent artist, we're all on the same team.
Right.
So why are we fighting?
It's
against
not every
each
man
other?
for himself. It's not even fighting. It's more of like just not doing the things that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Not staying after, to see the band that plays after you to support them. That's big.
Or showing up to watch the openers.
Right. Right. And I'm, in the beginning I was guilty of some of this stuff, but I learned like you need to shake the hands of everybody. You need to be there. You need to talk to the business owners. You need to, to acknowledge.
Thank and respect the venues.
Right. The venues.
That's a huge thing.
Massive.
So many people disrespect the venues and then ruin them for future shows.
I know venues that have said that certain bands are not welcome back because of X,
I know
Y, and Z.
venues that have said certain genres aren't welcome back because of too many.
Because of too much.
And I can't even be mad at the venue.
Right.
From a business standpoint,
Right.
like that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's on us as the community. Like we messed up.
Right. Right. So yeah, important stuff, and again, like I try to practice this stuff. I don't just preach it and say it and then not do it. I really honestly try. And if I don't, like if someone says, "Hey, you didn't do that," then bring it to my attention. Like bring it to my, and I'm all about constructive criticism,
Right.
That's the best kind of criticism is constructive, because then I can work on it,
Yeah.
But no one's in competition with anybody, because you're only in competition with yourself. Be the best musician that you can be, not with anybody else, because you're not going to sound like anybody else.
And once you stop worrying about other people, all sorts of doors open up. And like you said, like I was guilty of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's taken me 15 years to fully worry about myself.
Yeah. In my young 20s, I used to play the San Jose scene with a heavy metal band, because metal's where my heart's at. That's what I grew up with.
Gotcha.
And we were all competing. We were so aggressive and just like and all of a sudden, one of the bands just rose out, and they came from the ashes, and it was Papa Roach. Whoa. Those guys made it. They made.
It's like we could have all been kind of on if we would just
I know
together.
if we just would have just worked together, but they just shot up, and just like wow. That's back in the days of Cactus Club in San Jose.
Okay.
And I believe, don't quote me, but I believe Nirvana played there at one point.
Nice.
And Rage Against the Machine.
Nice.
I mean, just seminal bands that just like wow.
Right. See, that's what my goal is for Stockton. Hello, Don Rico De Castro.
Don Rico.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't recognize the name, so it's got to be one of
ukulele
you.
player. He shows up to all of our shows.
Nice.
He is the example of supportive. He supports and other artists, and I try to support him as much as possible. I click on his like streams and stuff, and like his stuff as much as I can, because he's reciprocal.
And see, and that's the thing too, is like you don't even have to come to the shows. You don't have to do all that. Just like and share.
Like and share and comment.
Right.
That is free.
Right. And it's a pet peeve of mine that my regular friends don't do it. But I understand they don't really know, you know what I mean, like how far a like and share will go when they're not looking at insights and like all this stuff. But for my fellow artist friends that know, like, come on, man.
It helps. It helps to get other opportunities for that individual, because other people that are not in your circle will say, "Hey, they have a following. Give them a chance." So it takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Less than 2 seconds.
Yeah. I made a meme back in the day. It was like Philip J. Fry from Futurama, like making one of those squinty faces, and it was like, when your friends like Walmart but not your business page, like Walmart don't need your likes.
Right.
They don't care about your likes.
Right. Walmart's just fine without your like.
But still, 87 of y'all like him. Two people like my thing.
Right. But every like, not to be petty, but and likes and comments don't necessarily dictate the quality and genuineness of your music. Don't ever think
not
that.
At all. Yeah.
But every comment, every like, every share counts. We're small businesses.
And that's my thing too. Is I don't know, a gang of people whose music may not be my style or whose products may not use. Right. But just support. Just show that support. Right. But at the same time, it's all karma. So I just gotta worry about myself and my karma.
Work hard, hustle, be genuine.
Exactly. Work hard, hustle, be genuine. Facts of life.
That's it. It's all what it boils down to.
So I'm gonna wrap up here shortly, just because I gotta be back at 8 a.m. to see y'all again. But if I remember correctly, your zodiac sign was Libra?
Yep.
Pretty good at that.
Yeah, you're pretty good. T-minus and counting, I think my birthday is in 2 days.
Oh. Okay, so right before. So it would be a belated birthday on Friday. A day-lated birthday.
Yeah.
Nice. 18th, October 18th. All right, Mr. Libra. So for the 16th, grab your most honest friend and lay some of your new ideas on them. What do they think of your latest crush, your new wardrobe choices, or where you want to go on vacation? This exchange isn't about you being insecure about your choices. It's about you keeping people in the loop on what's going on in your life in a more inclusive way. People love to share their opinions People love to share their opinions and help their friends. So ask for all the help you need today. You might get more than you bargained for.
That is really weird and true and weird because something's just happened in that. This jacket right here, actually. Oh my God, that's so weird. So I am sporting one of a kind American Gypsy apparel.
I figured it had to be. I seen the thing on the back. I was like, "Oh, that's bold." I was like, "That must be some kind of fancy thing."
Yeah, it's a fancy dancy thing. It's from American Gypsy Apparel, the same artist that did the mural.
Oh,
and
nice.
So he has his own clothing line, one-off clothing line. So
nice.
I bought this for the festival I just played with Dez.
Nice.
And I'm like, it has to be special. It has to be has to be amazing. So I made I was hanging out with him, and I was supposed to pick up a custom pair of shoes, custom pair of docs I had him do. And then he was messing around with jackets and stuff. He's like, "Oh, check this jacket out," and I put it on. He's like, "That fits like a glove. Oh my gosh, it's you, dude. It's you. It's so you. You got it. So let's talk price." I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's talk price." I know it's gonna be, but it's gonna be quality. But
Right.
So yeah, no, it's funny that you say that. And so yeah, my wardrobe choices have definitely changed, but.
Well, I'd imagine the more time you spend around Des, the more dapper you feel you have to be.
She's on her A game all the time, 24/7. So yeah, no, she keeps me and everybody around her on their toes for sure. So yeah, and then talking about clothes, going back to Duke Coast, I have to dress completely different. Because it's more folk, it's more, brown boots and flannels and, you know. So, and then back to Echoes, Straits and Dave Chappelle, so I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan, by the way.
So am I. I just quoted him earlier. I quote Dave Chappelle at least once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Not more.
But yeah, so, yeah, clothes, fashion, music, good people, good food. Good times.
Nice.
Just being aware of how you treat people.
Yeah. Just self-awareness in general.
Yeah. We all mess up.
Yeah.
We all mess up.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are.
And we're all going to continue to. You know what I mean? You're never even going to... Not only are you not perfect,
right,
you're never going to be perfect.
Right.
But strive for it.
Strive for right, exactly. Exactly. But you know, it's forgiveness. And sometimes it's forgiveness, but then you never forget because you don't want to be ignorant.
Exactly.
But you grow.
Right.
You know. So
that's one thing I'm learning too, is to not just when somebody messes up, not to just completely like, okay, move on, because that's how I've lived the last like several years of my life, just from relationships and whatnot. It's like, okay, once you show that you don't care, let me just move on. Right. And you know, but then I'm learning like, okay, people mess up, they you know what I mean? And I don't recommend that for relationships at all. But as far as
I'm not talking about abusive relationships, but no. We're talking about like, you know, friendships or
business contacts.
You gotta stay fluid. You gotta take the emotion out of it sometimes, and you gotta see what each other sacrifices for each other.
Exactly.
So the observation of what each other sacrifice for each other.
Right. Because
being an entrepreneur, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and people have to make sacrifices for you.
Yeah. You know, shout out Drexley, the owner of Superfish, really dope poke spot out here. That we do a lot of open. It's like our fig tree, basically. Okay. That's what brought everybody together.
I was going to ask you, like, where's a good coffee shop here?
It's not coffee. It's got great tea though.
Okay.
Tea and poke. If you like sushi.
I'm down.
Yeah, it's like sushi but in a bowl instead of in a roll.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have to come back down here and check it out.
I love Superfish.
So good.
But back in like January when I first got back into this world of stuff, he was on an interview on Rise and Shine with Renee, the old host. And shout out Renee. She gave me my opportunity here. One of the things that really stuck out in my mind from his interview, because he's a videographer and he's from Stockton, but he got big in San Jose, like started doing videos for like a lot of the mainstream people down there, but then wanted to come back and bring something to his hometown. But what he was saying is, while he was coming up, there was a gang of people that basically burned bridges with him if he would have allowed it. But he didn't, and then it ended up being more beneficial to him further down in the future. Sure. So that's how I'm trying to look at stuff. Like, you screwed me over now, but maybe if I just, you know what I mean, like, don't completely cut you off, it'll be beneficial in the future. And if it's not, I still won't give you the opportunity to screw me again. But it might, you know, something might work out.
Yeah, it's just, you got to see the intent, you know, behind everything, and look at the body of the relationship, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope that all works out. I know that in business relationships are not perfect. You know, we all deal with each other's idiosyncrasies and stuff. But, you know.
Well, right now I just have somebody being a buffer for me. Why don't you do that while I work on this?
Sometimes you gotta take a time out, you know, and that's cool too, you know. You know, but at the end of the day, like, you gotta accomplish your goals, you know. And, you know.
But we're doing that.
We're doing it, and we all help each other out, so that's the main thing.
All right. Cool. So Pisces. I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
I feel like Des is a Pisces. I feel like I've seen that on Facebook, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, Des, if I am. You spend so much time in the center of the action lately that it might be a smart move to step back and look at things from an outsider's perspective. Like I just said, give a buffer. Pretend you don't know the ins and outs of everyone you care about in your life. How do these important people appear when you see them as strangers? This isn't an exercise in judging others. Rather, it's an effective way to remind yourself of how amazing the people in your life are. You're very lucky, and you need to know it. Yeah, that's...
She's surrounded. She has a big family, and she's really lucky. They are very close, and just like myself, I have a big family. I have a small immediate family, but my
Extended family,
is
yeah.
huge. We're like all like brothers and sisters, and we fight like brothers and sisters. And
I have like 14 or 15 cousins.
Yeah.
One brother, one sister, and then 15 cousins.
Yeah. I think I have about 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My grandmother had 14 kids.
Woo.
So, yeah. But, yeah, so I have a lot of family. But, yeah, those relationships are important, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, again, Marco, thank you so much for coming down this
thank you for
evening.
Yeah. Thank you for doing a late show for me. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
It's awesome.
I appreciate you as well. Again, reciprocate.
Definitely. Reciprocate. Now, you do hip hop, right? You do hip hop or music gigs and stuff too, right? Like you.
Like myself as a musician.
Yeah.
I just started recording hip hop.
Okay.
I have two songs that I probably could do.
Okay.
But I've only done it at an open mic when there was like 3 people that I've recorded the songs in front of.
Okay.
So,
okay.
That being said, I have asked my business partner, Abby, to kind of start pushing me more, because I know if you leave it up to me, if you ask me like, hey, do you want to perform? I'm like, no, I'm just always going to chicken out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get there.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting there.
Cool.
But again, last recap, Sacramento Songwriter Circle tomorrow at Fig Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Tribute Party Friday at Alchemy on J Street. And then the 27th, Dew Coast. Where is that one at?
That's at Poor Choice in Auburn, California.
Poor Choice in Auburn.
So they're a coffee shop. They serve beer and alcohol. And
nice.
Beer and wine and stuff, and it's a good time.
Kind of like Blackwater.
Yeah. And their avocado toast is heaven.
Kind of like Blackwater.
Yeah. So come check us out. It'd be cool to have y'all.
Yes, and thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and get some music back in rotation for you guys as soon as my computer comes back. And this was Rise and Shine 209 on the late night with Marco of Dew Coast and Echo the Natives. Thank you so much for tuning in.
The Pearl is in the river.
Hello, and welcome to the Ralph Furley Musical Caravan.
You're listening to Blue Mountain Radio on KQBM LP 103.9 FM West Point and KQBM 90.7 FM San Andreas.
You're listening to Stone Soup Community Radio, Stockton Community Radio.